and welcome to Behind the Ballet. I'm Elizabeth Kaye, and today I'll be telling you about one of the 4 exceptional programs in our fall season, a season honoring and celebrating ABT's singular artistry throughout its 85 years of existence. American Ballet Theater was initially known as Ballet Theater, and from its first performance, the company established a new approach to presenting dance. It achieved this by showcasing revered classical, romantic, and neoclassical ballets, as well as presenting dazzling new works. This program, ABT at 85, a retrospective of master choreographers, carries on this practice, which has been adopted by companies worldwide. It does this by pairing the gracious, romantic ballet Les Sylphide with the rollicking Americana of the contemporary ballet, Rodeo. Les Sylphide, created in 1909 by Michel Folkine, was the very first work Ballet Theater presented. The dancers were given the privilege of being rehearsed by Folkine, an exacting ballet master who had been a leading dancer with the Imperial Ballet and the first choreographer for the storied Ballet Russe. Folkine's love of ballet, combined with his visionary cast of mind, prompted him to devise a work that was exquisitely classical in its choreography, but revolutionary in its design. For Les Sylphide was the first ballet to go against the long-held assumption that a ballet is required to tell a story. Instead, Folkine created a ballet without a plot that would capture the hearts of audiences through movement, mood, and music. On the stage, you'll see 19 sylphs, lovely creatures of the woodlands, each clad in a flowing white tutu extending to her calf, the tutu worn by ballerinas during ballet's romantic era in the first half of the 19th century. The sole man on the stage is identified as the poet. On Ballet Theater's opening night, the dancers cast in Les Sylphide were feeling a huge amount of tension and pressure because, in addition to the normal pre-performance jitters, by joining this brand new, untested company, they had put their careers on the line. Minutes before the curtain rose, a group of them said a prayer together. When they gathered in the wings, they traded nervous smiles and took deep breaths as they waited to go on stage. Finally, moments before the curtain rose, they assumed their places in Les Sylphide's stunning opening tableau. The first notes of the Chopin music sounded, the dancing began, and by the time this 26-minute work ended, ballet history had been made, and a new era in dance, the American era, had begun. On that epic first night, one of Les Sylphide's leading roles was danced by the company's director, Lucia Chase. Miss Chase would remain in her post as director for the next 40 years, and Les Sylphide would always be dear to her heart, and she would program it again and again. But significantly, her taste ran wide and deep, and if you had attended the opening night of Ballet Theater's second season in 1941, you would have seen the debut of another work she often programmed, Gala Performance, created by Antony Tudor, one of the 2 artists who became Ballet Theater's in-house choreographers. Gala Performance featured 3 haughty, jealous, prima ballerinas, 1 Russian, 1 Italian, 1 French, who, as they vied to dominate and upstage each other, elicit roars of laughter from the audience. Ballet Theater's other in-house choreographer was Agnes de Mille, an artist who, like Tudor, had a rarefied sense of how to portray emotion and character in dance. And in this special program, you will see de Mille's Rodeo, initially danced by Ballet Theater in 1950. Rodeo was a milestone, for in an art dominated by French and Russian classics, it was one of the very first ballets with an American theme. It was, in fact, unabashedly American, an exuberant ode to the American West with an ebullient score by the American composer Aaron Copland, based partially on American folk tunes. It also has a dynamic and novel dance style that incorporates square dancing, tap dancing, and dancers pantomiming riding horses and roping. Most arresting is its depth of genuine feeling, revealed through universal, timeless themes of love, rejection, identity, and the yearning to belong. The ballet opens with a group of spirited cowboys partaking in a Saturday afternoon rodeo at Burnt Ranch, where they're joined by the all-too-eager and awkward cowgirl who copies the men's bronco-busting moves in a desperate effort to be accepted as a cowhand and to win the affection of the handsome head wrangler. But the wrangler has his eyes set on the rancher's pretty daughter, and the cowgirl, no matter how hard she tries, succeeds only in annoying him and becoming a laughingstock to the prim and ultra-feminine city girls who are visiting the ranch and traversing it in ruffled dresses. The cowgirl is a complex and charming character. She's comic yet poignant, cheeky yet vulnerable. When Mille created this ballet in 1942 for the Ballet Russe of Monte Carlo, it was she who danced the role of the cowgirl. The New York Times described her performance as funny and gauchely touching, so it seems that she must have embodied the cowgirl perfectly. It's a tricky role, and it's been said that any dancer performing it has to succeed at being a failure, at least until the end of the ballet, when the cowgirl puts on a dress and finds the love she was seeking. This program is an exhilarating journey that will take you from the pure balletic magic of Les Sylphide to the enchanting effervescence of Rodeo, works that so perfectly encapsulate what American ballet theater has been since its beginnings, for it demonstrates that what has defined us for 85 years is not one particular style, but the courage and ability to foster an eclectic style based solely on the pursuit and attainment of great ballets, great dancing, and excellence. Thank you for joining me for Behind the Ballet.